Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Wednesday special. You guys have already read the title, but you probably are getting flashbacks from me starting on my desktop. Yes, we're doing Locomotion. We're doing old school Locomotion. And we are doing old school Locomotion because I have a friend with me. Of course, a warm welcome to Hyce.
What's up, guys? This is Hyce.
Yeah, I've hit the big time. We have a famous YouTuber on the channel. Um,
Sure.
all right, I'm gonna try to go into Locomotion. I'm really gonna hope this records properly. Oh, it's not good.
It's doing okay on my end. It's a little choppy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Has it been doing this since we got in?
What is this?
The choppiness. I didn't
Yeah, I
notice.
think so. So I don't know. Let's give
All right,
it a shot and see what
I'll
happens.
just start a game and see what happens. Let's just do Weatherworld. Why not?
Why not? That sounds good.
This is the first map I didn't suck at. Oh yeah, I remember. It was never quite so easy. There we go.
All right. What is the goal of Weatherworld? Build a passenger service between the towns.
Yeah.
Over 500 passengers.
It is.
Okay.
It is not the kind of one where we're going to be sitting here trying to do the thing. I think we should just try to play the game, you know?
Right on. So, I don't know. Well, you've played a lot more Locomotion than I have. I played it a bunch when I was a kid. I haven't really played it since I've been an adult, really. But I've come back to it here and then. I just loved it because it was like Roller Coaster Tycoon construction, but with trains. And I love Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I love trains. So, here we are.
Yeah, and this was the kind of thing where I've actually been sort of binging these Roller Coaster Tycoon videos, and oh man, it's rough.
MarcelVoth.jpg.
Yeah, exactly. And it's made me want to play Roller Coaster Tycoon again for the first time in a very long time. I'm not even sure if I have it. Of course, it's one of those things that I have on a disc somewhere.
Ew, British trains.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm so sorry.
How would you dare do this to me?
Oh man.
Oh God, and I've selected my color scheme. No, we are changing from light blue. This is a mistake.
I'm just gonna be bright red, I guess. I didn't feel like fixing it.
We'll match the channel. I'm gonna be green. I'm gonna get an A3 because Leighton would approve.
In other words, they were green.
All right, no schedule. We're running trains, folks.
Yeah. I think part of the choppiness is just sort of a ping issue. Because I vaguely remember this being like a thing that happened when I was trying to do this at distance, and of course it does not happen when you're in the same room as someone. Clearly,
We're gonna have to have a Locomotion LAN party at some point.
Yeah, exactly. When I can get out to Colorado. But speaking of which, you were just recently out there. I'm not sure if you've talked about that on your videos.
I was. Clearly. Look at you, John Madden Transport. You're already setting speed records, and I've barely gotten a railroad.
in my 5-foot-long railroad. There I go.
Oh God, you're a town over for me. Get out.
Hold on. You can't do too many really cheeky things in this. You can't do as mean of things in Locomotion as you can do in OpenTTD.
Good to know. I've definitely parked just a flat tank car on a grade crossing before to prevent trucks from doing things.
Oh,
I've definitely been that guy, but yeah.
You want to know the... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you want to know the next level up from that, because it can get so much worse.
Yes, please.
You provide the trucks of your opponent an alternate route, but since you built the alternate route, you can delete it. So then you wait for your opponent's trucks to take the alternate route, and then you destroy it out from under them.
That's just the perfect brand of capitalism.
Look at my toll road. Oh, you didn't pay? Right. Fire. Speed limit enforced by aircraft.
Wow! Oh God, the news. The news is happening.
Yeah.
So much wow.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I set a lot of my things to not be tickers or to be tickers. You can change those settings somewhere.
that's right. Yeah, I should probably do that.
Oh wow.
Hi,
Uh,
hi. How's it going?
we're doing the wows again. Oh, what the
Oh,
hell are you
good.
doing over here?
Hey, I've got trains to run.
Yeah, your train is
Train.
running into a
Oh,
place without a station.
oh, oh. I forgot a step. I forgot a step and I didn't give the train a schedule, so it's already just shown up and said, "Oh, no, there's no platform. Bye, I'm leaving now."
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
Anyway, I keep cutting off you trying to talk about your Colorado trip, which I even set you up for.
You did, and then yeah, we've just been. It's fine.
I'm terrible.
God, it was a great trip. It was a bunch of fun, but you've outed yourself as not watching my YouTube channel because I've posted like 3 videos from it already.
I
So,
know. Well,
yes,
I saw
yeah.
that. I did see the one of the 20 cab ride, and then I've just been like, "Oh, look, there's a video from Hyce. I should watch that."
Yeah,
And
no,
then time goes
dude,
on.
I know how that goes. The amount of time I spend doing YouTube has precluded my amount of time that I can spend watching YouTube,
Yeah,
and I
totally.
feel like I've lost touch with all the people that I used to watch all the time. So, but yeah, no, it was a great trip, and it was so good that I decided that I want to go there full time, and then yeah, so I'm moving to Colorado. By the way, in case you didn't hear.
Moving back to Colorado.
Moving back to Colorado, yeah. Going to be back at the museum again, but this time officially. They had a position open up, so I'm going to be working in the shop with the guys.
Oh, they're
I've got all these
hiring you. They're gonna
passengers
pay you.
They're going to actually, well, I mean, they actually paid me before, but they're actually going to pay me again. And this time I'll have a title, because I was just kind of like the test run intern the first time, so... Apparently, when you don't schedule, oh no, mine shaft collapse. Production's down. That's why we're sad, not because people died. Got it. Thanks for that news.
Aw.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna define a schedule here. I didn't define a schedule on this train, and it apparently just decides to go straight at every junction. Is just the thought. So,
Oh, you want to know something fun?
what?
I assume this is in this version, but I have not checked.
Okay.
If you click on one of your trains, you hold insert on your keyboard.
Oh no, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can run it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which invariably leads to running it off the end of the track because they're impossible to control.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to try this.
Now, I probably don't. You've only got one train. It's not expendable.
That's true.
I mean, in on one hand, you are my competition. On the other hand, that would be a real short. Oh, I've gone bankrupt. Time to move on to the next scenario. I win by
Yeah.
default.
I'm holding insert and nothing's happening, so maybe it's
No,
not this
hold
version of the game.
Insert and type DRIVER. And then you should hear a little click. And then, if you click on your train and then long press on the flag for start-stop, you can switch it to manual.
Oh, there we go.
It's... I don't know how I learned about that. It's just one of those hidden features. And I ended up using it for my intro for this series when I did used to record it full-time, wherein I drove a train off the edge of the world,
Okay.
which is a
That's-
thing you can do.
That's
And-
possible?
Yeah, fun fact, it just crashes the game.
I love it. What happens? The train it's gone beyond the environment.
Yeah.
It's not in an environment. It's beyond the environment.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
hilarious. I had no idea.
It's just
Oh,
one
okay.
of
So
those
is this
things.
scenario, for clarification, is this scenario just passengers, or is it?
Let me see.
Like, yeah, just so 500 passengers between towns.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you could just make a trolley service, right?
Yeah.
And that would just
Deliver
kick
500
butt.
passengers. I mean, I don't know how quickly we're gonna get to the end of this. I mean, I'm at 54% with my little dinky shuffling back and forth.
You're already beating me, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of track, but you've only got the one train.
Apparently that was the mistake. Apparently I
Yeah.
should be taking out more of a loan.
Oh, jeez. I loathe loans in these games so much.
They can really make or break you.
at some point, yeah, no, and that is
Wow. Sorry.
when I got so ingrained with playing this game, and I'll talk about my recording setup as well, because I know you were like, "What are you doing to yourself?"
Yeah, I wanna hear about that.
Which ties so neatly into recording this game. But I played so much Locomotion, and like things like Transport Fever and stuff like that, where you're playing for the long game most of the time. I mean, some of these scenarios, like this one, it's like, okay, deliver 500 passengers, you can do that in a year. Um, but I always love making my own scenarios, which carries over to my trains route building habits. And I would always set the goal to be like something really lofty. I got all these mods which added to basically like the industry tech tree. So you've got to have, there's like 3 or 4 layers of industries. And my goal would be like, deliver 100 of the final commodity. So it would be deliver 100 automobiles. But to do that, you have to play through like 50 years of the game. So hanging on to a loan was the wrong idea. And then when we played Railroad Tycoon, you always want to be taking out as many loans as possible. You want to be getting bonds every single time your credit allows you to, basically, so you can keep expanding like a maniac. And it like crippled me because I was so focused on not having loans or taking out bonds like the first map or two that we played. It's like, all right, everyone else is expanding like crazy, and the scenarios aren't even long enough to the point where you're going to have to pay them back. Oh,
right.
It's just free money.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. And yeah, and so I would make these obscene scenarios. Oh, you beat me to it.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. I mean, we can keep playing. It's unfortunate that it is as choppy as it is. I wish we could speed it up. But I mean, I think we should just keep going for a little bit.
I'm happy with that. So, this game is fun, and yeah, it is definitely different in scope like that. Yeah, you're totally right. Where a lot of these are really like build a whole network across the whole map, and that doesn't make for a 30-minute episode. That makes for a huge production, right? So
yeah, I've had series where I've spent dozens of episodes, if not more, on the same map, just because I've set up some lofty goal that's going to take me ages to achieve. And production down.
Aww.
I didn't say collapse this time, though. So, I think everyone's okay. Anyway. And so then that would mean every day, or, every week or so, I would come on and I'd set up my 2 things, my Bandicam and my Audacity, which for the longest time at the beginning of my channel, I just started building a road. I was working on something and then I just totally went scatterbrained and started trying to build a freight network elsewhere.
My train's confused, and I'm confusing my train further. And just to piss off all of the Brits here, we've got British Railroad and rolling stock, but I've put my signals for right-hand operation. So
yeah, there you go. What was I saying? Yeah, so I have a microphone that is very old. I have like a stand-up desktop mic. It's that off-white color that all PCs were back in the 1990s.
Oh man, that's a vibe.
Yeah, I found it at a yard sale. And it has a lot of background static. It's not not great for just straight listening, which means I have to record it in Audacity and then go and do a noise removal before it goes to air. So that's why I needed Audacity on top of the Bandicam that I'd already bought and paid for. And now OBS is like the best thing ever, and it's free. And I can't bring my and it has built-in noise suppression. And so I'm just like, well, what have I done? Oh well, I'm stuck with this.
Not to interrupt your woes, my train is just very confused.
Oh no.
I deleted part of this track because it's just been running back and forth between Shiverborn East and Numbly Fingers, which
Numbly
that's a
Fingers.
city name, boys. And it still just kept back and forth, so I deleted part of the Y, and then it still just ran down the stub of the Y like, yeah, this is where I go, right? It's like, no!
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Locomotion is amazing because the train AI is like nothing else. You have games like Transport Fever, or even OpenTTD to an extent, where they're going on like a predetermined course. OpenTTD is a little bit looser with this, but that's because it's another Chris Sawyer game. Whereas Locomotion, they're winging it. The trains you build are figuring out where they're going as they go. And sometimes it's kind of insane. They just sort of take a wrong turn and get lost, and you just need to feed them as many waypoints as you possibly can.
That's hilarious. Also, I'm now an engineer, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations. I handicapped myself by going for a short route from the beginning, and then I decided to build a road.
Where do I want to put my HQ?
I put mine in this tiny town.
I put mine next to the railroad.
Mine is in Rainham, which is like to the due north of our shenaniganry. I'm pretty sure I'm employing every person in this town. It has a population of 78.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not even seeing where it is.
I think if you click on me, like in the menu at the bottom left, you can see... Yeah, and I can click on your second tab and go to where your
yeah, there we are.
thing is. Oh, next to your passing siding. Nice.
Yep. I figured that would be a good place. Foam trains from the office.
Yeah. You don't want to distract your workers too much.
I gotta tell you, zooming in and zooming out, that is the most painful thing with the choppiness.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
it seems okay for me, but that may be because I'm host.
I should probably just shut up and put a longer pass track in right there.
I mean, it seems to be okay.
They're gonna stop and wait. I was gonna wait for a second, but it could be more efficient, Ellis. Think of the efficiency.
It's one of these locomotion things where trains in this game, again compared to Transport Fever, they take so little time to speed up from a stop. Transport Fever, if your trains come to a halt, you're waiting. Like, you've lost out on a ton of time. Whereas this, it's like, they stop and they start back up again, and you lose 30 seconds. It's not an issue.
I've yet to do Transport Fever on the channel. People keep telling me that I need to do it, and I've just been waiting to find time. So, interesting quirk that I have a question for you. Max speed on the track. It seems I'm only getting 60 regardless. I thought it was only if you had a bridge that it was reduced to 60.
So, let's see. Let me look at what you've got.
Because they're not speeding up to 90 past.
Your passenger carriages are limited to 60 miles an hour.
Are they really?
Yes.
Oh. But there's no other passenger carriages.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to tell you. In fact, the passenger carriages. Yeah.
We're in the weird part of the years where they don't have mail cars or fast passenger carriages yet.
I spent all this money on a large engine that can go 90 miles an hour. I would have been just as well off with the Ginty.
I should have just got the Ginty as a meme. I was thinking about it, but I really should have, apparently.
I definitely should have, because I'm running this train between these two towns, and it's making me barely more than what it costs to run it. You've got the longer runs. I mean, you went for it from the beginning, which is the right way to go about things. I don't know why I just sort of zeroed in. I think I was too focused on the fact that the game was choppy, and I'm just internally nervous about, I don't know, having a bad time.
Things not working.
Yeah. Well, it only took us like a half hour to set it up and make it work, so.
Old games, pretty much. All right, so we're going to blow past the town of Sunburnville, and we're just going to make people listen to the trains, but...
Yes.
Oh Lord, it doesn't give you full money back. So you've got to be a little bit more smart about how you plan your routes, ding dong.
Yeah, that's another thing that this game it isn't unique in, but it's something that I got so used to. And you want to know a gripe of mine about Railroute is that you always get your full money back for deleting something, no matter
Right.
how long it's been there. Um, and I really wish that there would be like an overhaul update to that game where you don't get all your money back, or even like some other games, it costs money to demolish, or rather, it takes time to build stuff because I know you've played at least a little bit of Railroad. I know you've had some stuff on your channel about that. Um, but
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I paused the game and I was like, okay, MOW crew, remove the entire railroad, now put it back, but better.
Yeah.
And look, there it is. It's perfect and ready for the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see why they did it. It's a focus on the logic puzzle side of things, which I can respect that. I get that. That's
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, if it was more tied into the economy side of it and it wasn't just like token based, really, yeah, I could see making those changes as well. That could add additional complexity for sure.
Yeah, it just strikes me as one of those things where you ever get to the point where you accidentally accept one too many trains and now everything's stuck and you're just like, all right, I gotta build myself out of this mess.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that. That's my issue. I feel like that should not be allowed. But then again, I hate myself, and I like it when games are mean to me.
Well, go play something that was developed for the SNES.
Oh, jeez. I thought you were going to go with Dark Souls, which I've never played any of those games.
Well, also Dark Souls. I've been told that too. I've tried to get into Dark Souls. People told me it's great. It'd be so much fun, and that's not my cup of tea. I did not do well. Well,
Yeah.
we're pretty much, my trains have apparently synced up schedules because I'm waiting at the passing track exactly at the same spot here. So, but I have added another Y and another leg to Snowborn, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell I want to do as far as signals and passing tracks again, because it's not going to make 100% sense anymore.
Well, if I may, because I'm already going to be a second fiddle to you, which of course I bring you into my domain and then lose. But my recommendation is you don't even necessarily need a schedule for these guys if you run the whole railroad as a sort of musical chairs. Like, add one-way signals in all your Ys so that the trains...
That was
Yeah.
an option that was in my head.
Yeah. So, like, it'll go from Shiverborn East to Numbly Fingers, and then it'll go to Little Turbulence, then it'll go to wherever this distant... Oh, Snowborn. And then...
Do you see this railroad, kids?
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's a circle. It's just a really weird squiggly circle.
Yeah, just... If you happen to want to get from Little Turbulence back to Numbly Fingers, you got a long ride ahead of you.
Yeah. Indeed. It's best to walk.
It's best to walk. I mean, thankfully, passengers in this game do not care at all about where they're coming from or where they're going.
There is no destination.
Yeah.
They are just freight that complains.
Right, that
Actually, yeah, no, they don't need schedules because now they're forced into. I've set the schedule with the signals. There you go.
Exactly.
I could have sworn there was a copy train button, but I guess
No.
not.
I wish. I don't... If there is, it's very well hidden, because I've never seen it.
All right, we're doing it. We're doing the thing. Let's see. How does the Ginty fare with 3 coaches?
It'll only go slightly slower, but it will accelerate much slower.
I'm seeing that. I'm wondering if that was a mistake, but it's a bit funny.
I mean, at least in this game, you don't have to send something to the depot to spiff it up. It's just...
That is true.
I am noticing that with 3 trains on the system, there is the distinct possibility of gridlock.
That is certainly possible. And they are kind of all run on this one end of the map right now.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll spread themselves out, or they'll all get stuck. One of the two.
Well, then you can either blow them up or do something about it, I
You can
guess.
just pick them up. You can just grab
Yeah,
them.
that's true. You can just 050. The hand of God came down and picked up the choo-choo and set it where it needed to go. I could also just do this.
I was in RO the other day, just realizing how overpowered the crane tool, or the re-rail tool is, if you don't feel like switching one thing. I
Yeah,
just grabbed a
we've
caboose.
we have abused the reroll tool.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you've seen my hardcore map, it's how we got more than tonnage trains up the 6% to the logging camp. We
Nice.
had the porter could only haul 2 cars, and we wanted to do more than that because we wanted to make some amount of money. And so we had someone sitting on the back of the train with the reroll tool out, staring at the track, wiggling their mouse with the third coach in tow, or the third bit in tow.
That's so good. I We
Um,
did that with a tender
sir,
that fell off the train.
nice.
Uh-oh.
Why is that block red?
He may just be confused. You can just go ahead and tell him to go past the signal,
I
and
I deleted the block. I deleted the signal, and I guess I'll delete this other signal.
signal's on the left side, but running on the right.
Yep, just to get at the 5% of my channel viewership that is in the UK. Love you guys.
If you sort of accept the fact that that the frames are going to be crappy, the game still plays okay.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you zoom out, and I mean, you don't really notice it anyway. Although
Yeah.
we're now watching the Ginty turn into a slideshow trying to get up this hill.
Oh no! Oh, hold on, I gotta go find this.
It's picked up speed. It's cleared it now, but it was a bit slow getting out
Oh
of
yeah, right
snowboard.
out of the station. That's a little rough.
and and the Flying Scotsman, now painted orange, is stuck holding at the signal for eons for the little Ginty to do its thing.
The flying Mandarin.
The Flying Mandarin. I love it. Oh lordy. You know what? We're gonna make smart life decisions now that we're getting a bit more of a silly network going, and we're going to take the passing track and just extend it up. So
Yeah,
that
there you go.
yeah.
Especially since you're running this circle line, you don't have to. You already know where the trains are gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. This is kind of a hacky way to build a network, but it works. I mean,
Yeah, it's locomotion.
that is the point. That's why we're here.
I I still have the manual for the game.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I haven't looked through it, of course, in many years, but I remember when I started to get back into Locomotion after a little hiatus, I popped it open. I was like, "Oh, this is actually some good advice in here." I wish I could remember what it specifically was so I could cite it, but it just struck me as "Oh wow, yeah, this isn't terrible." It's not just the basics of how to play the game. It is actually "Oh, and you should do this with your signals, and you should build a network like this."
I seem to recall there's stuff being in there yeah, remember that the slowest train is going to set the speed of your network, and there was all sorts of little tips in there. Yeah, it was definitely cool. There's got to be a hide buildings, yeah, button. There we go.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, because I'm trying to extend my streetcar network here, because it's not. Well, I guess it's 1950, but we're not in the U.S., so we can have streetcars. We haven't banned streetcars for the sake of capitalism yet.
Yeah, General Motors is not here and cannot tell you what to do.
Hey now, don't you talk bad about my Pontiac. All right, do I need to remove the turnaround or do the tram? No, yes, I do need to remove the turnaround. The trams just are doing what they want.
Right,
Oh, lordy.
this guy doing? I think I'm just gonna dump a bunch of money into loans so I can start making money at a decent rate, so I can actually play the game instead of watching my train go back and forth.
Well, that's what I've been doing, and I support that.
Uh-oh. I did not hear an explosion, so I really wonder what could have happened.
It was an explosion.
It was?
It was.
Oh no.
So, the trams were taking. They wouldn't stop taking the turnaround after I extended the end of the alignment so that I could have a much larger little tram network.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, so I can delete the curve and then put it back or whatever, and I delete the piece of track as one tram was stopped in the tile over,
Oh no.
and it like ran into the thing, but it was going through the turnaround, and I deleted the straight track, and it still blew up. So it's like
I cannot tell you. I cannot explain to you why, but
this does not make much sense. This is a Chris Sawyer-ism has occurred.
yeah.
Well, we got a bunch more trams now, and a bunch of little trams in little turbulence. Where we accidentally blew up a tram on this day.
Then it was big turbulence. It was very briefly big turbulence.
It became large turbulence. Yes. Oh man, this game is so nostalgic. I've been playing a couple older games recently and just enjoying the silliness of them. And yeah, this is a good one. It's not quite as well loved or well received as OpenTTD was, but the Roller Coaster Tycoon building tools, I mean that takes it back, and having the train theme is fun, and the industries are pretty well thought out. So, content wise for the US stuff, there's only like 3 Steam engines, isn't there? It's kind of annoying, but it's pretty fun. But then, Open Loco is a thing, and then all the mods are some stuff. So I know probably a lot of folks on my channel have no idea about that. So do you want to talk about Open Loco and then some of the mods that the people out on the forums have made?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are familiar with OpenTTD. It just is sort of a name that that comes to mind when you talk about train games. I don't think too many people think about the fact that it's TTD's Transport Tycoon Deluxe, which was the predecessor to Chris Sawyer's Locomotion, which, it has a much longer lifespan. I'm not really sure why that one is the one that got run away with, probably because of the multiplayer. You can have a server with, 64 people or something crazy like that in OpenTTD, and here it's just 1v1, and if you're trying to do it at a distance, you have to use Hamachi, and then you suffer this frame rate thing. So, it's that seems to be the reason why OpenTTD is much more remembered and beloved. But yeah, there is or at least was for a long period of time, a fairly concentrated modding community for Locomotion, and they made all sorts of stuff. They actually even imported a lot of things from MSTS. They figured out that you could do that.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And they did the, I think it was called the Chicago Locomotive Works pack, which was all sorts of US stuff. And on top of that, massive expansions to the industry system. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the auto parts, or like the automobile manufacturing side of the mod, which is, it adds 6 other industries that are all tied together and tied into the original game industries. Some of them replace, the chemical works gets replaced with one that you deliver oil to it and it creates chemicals and plastic pellets instead of just creating chemicals out of thin air.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. And then you take the plastic pellets and you take steel and you bring it to an auto parts plant, and then you bring the auto parts and more steel to an auto plant. And yeah, usually my scenarios would be okay, deliver 100 automobiles, but you start in 1900 or whatever the earliest date is, 1900 something, and you don't actually have the rail cars to move those commodities. You don't get a hopper car that moves plastic pellets for another 30 years, and you don't get something that moves auto parts for another 50 years. So you're in for the long haul. Going to be playing for a long time before you can complete the scenario, and it just encourages you to build a massive F-off network because everything is connected, and it almost may encourage you to build mixed trains, which are hypothetically always really cool, but in Locomotion they never work. They never actually help.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you're always going to be building unit trains. But yeah, and there's a lot of stuff. Needless to say, it's a lot of stuff. it's just all kind of difficult to find now. There's no concentrated database of stuff, and there's no like online presence really like OpenTTD. Except finally, we're getting Open Locomotion, so the entire game is being rewritten from scratch in I think C plus or C sharp.
In not assembly.
Yeah, not assembly code. In
Chris
something that's
Sawyer,
actually
you
understood.
madman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've taken it, we've put it in something that humans can actually read. Oh, good.
Yeah, basically.
And hopefully with that we will get...
No! Why are you so confused?
Oh, no.
Ties in grain like one spur, and it's like, no, I want to go there. No! Oh, I guess I didn't give it a schedule. Never mind.
No,
I can't be mad at it. I cannot be mad at the train being confused because I didn't tell it what to do.
It sounds like a skill issue.
Problem in seat. Yes.
Yay, there we go. I'm making like actual real money for once.
There you go. None of that Monopoly stuff. All right.
It's just
I've
rating.
increased the dual trackness of my network here because I'm now transporting grain to a food place. So, and now we've got tons of food waiting. Literally, there are literal tons of food waiting.
In fairness, my dude sort of looks like the Monopoly guy. He's as close as you can get to the Monopoly guy in this game, and I don't know why, but he's just the image I've been using since I started playing Locomotion as a small child.
Okay,
I was like, oh, this guy looks hilarious. I love him.
I need to know, because I feel like I remember, and I just need to know if that's just that ingrained in my brain. Is his avatar name Wodger Wham Jet?
That's the one.
I love it. There he is.
Wodger
The man
Wham
himself.
Jet, my guy.
I was always a Ricky ripoff guy, because, I mean, come on. Big cowboy hat. Big stupid smile.
Doug Dimmadome.
Gotta love it. Doug Dimmadome. Wrong color cowboy hat, but yes.
If you could change your avatar's colors just like your train's colors.
That would be great.
Oh, I'm finally an engineer. Oh, I actually was just thinking about the train colors because they're like the one thing... Oh, look, we got planes.
Planes and a ferry.
The modded stuff doesn't change color at all for the most part. If you want to have color-identified trains, there are a couple of, like, caboose that you can download that are, like, the basic color that changes with your company color. But everything else in the mods is just whatever color it is, and you get, like, 50 different SD40-2s that are all the different railroad liveries, and you're only allowed 256 items in a scenario, so choose wisely. Or maybe it's 512.
That's right.
But
That's the limit. I forgot about that.
The bane of my existence.
Right. I remember I got some of those mods working a long time ago on an ancient machine of mine. I had to download them off one computer, put them on I don't even think it was putting them on a thumb drive. I didn't have thumb drives yet. I was young. I think it was like literally putting stuff on burning a CD, bringing it to my PC that I played games on. And yeah, I remember I had a UP9000 class.
Nice.
Modded in Locomotion. I was like, yeah, look at this thing. It can't turn.
It can't. It has...
And then you'd make it run around a circle of just the tightest circle track, just like that, and you just watch it break, and you're like, yeah, that's not supposed to work.
I remember always beating these scenarios and having way too much money, and then just building a giant spaghetti mess off to the side and getting the fastest train and setting it to maximum and just letting it run around in circles. I was doing the Boomer train set except in Locomotion.
Right? That's great.
What is the sale value of this? Okay, you know what? I'm selling this in favor of a much cheaper and smaller train that doesn't have 3 passenger carriages.
All right, I've got Ginty Freight going on over here, and I've just
saw
decided I'm doubling my amount of hopper cars behind this Ginty, and it's mad at me for doing that, but it'll figure it out. It's got 400 horsepower.
Okay, we got Thomas the Tank Engine down here now.
Oh boy.
We have Cerulean. Nightmare in Cerulean.